My aim in life was that if I, even in the army, when you went in the services during the war, you got some horrible jobs. We go in the cookhouse to dry about 6,000 dishes, you see, and in the latrines to clean them out. Well, if I had a job to do, even if it was scrubbing the floor, I wanted my floor to be cleaner than yours. Now, if everybody thinks along these lines and does all the small jobs to the best of their ability, that's honesty, then the world will be better, and football will be better. So what we want is hard work. And no football club was ever successful without hard work.
Hi guys, it's Sean here from the Shankly Boot Room, back with another video here, just to, probably quite a brief video really, just to go over a little bit for tomorrow's game. And first of all, let's have a little look at Arne Slot's press conference this morning, which he was in good bullish mood, spoke on a number of topics, including his dad, which we'll go over in a minute. But yeah, he first of all got asked about Curtis Jones, because obviously he took that a kind of a tackle which he kind of done the splits on, really. I'm actually surprised he's not playing. I don't think I'd be playing either if I'd done the splits like that. That looked painful, but I reckon it's probably not as serious as we all think, guys, but probably just a bit sore, and they probably just want to get him a bit more up to speed in terms of probably just just some bit of overstretching really there, I would imagine. He did say weeks rather than months, so so they'll assess him. They'll assess him after this game, of course, coming up tomorrow against Kieran McKenna's Ipswich. And interestingly, he got asked about Harvey Elliott as well. Kind of a little bit of some questioning along his lack of minutes and stuff like that. But Klopp kind of almost sort of said he just needs to keep doing the performances he's going to do, and he'll play. So I take that to mean he'll probably at least feature in some part of this game if he doesn't start it. So, but I think this is a theme we'll see with Arne Slot, is that second halves of seasons he will start rotating more because he knows he has to because of the minutes and everything. I was having a look at the data for Gravenberch, and there's a little bit of a dip, in performance level and what he normally does. It could be tactical. It doesn't necessarily mean he's just really played poorly, but just seeing a bit of a dip off on him. And that's not because he's not young and can't recover and stuff like that, but when you're playing game in, game out, game in, game out. But he has been rested in a few games. Let's be fair about that. I do think he'll start this one. And interestingly, got asked about his dad. His dad said he was rather bored by the game. And it's kind of an interesting conversation that they must have had there. And but at least we know where Arne Slot gets his... if that was my son, I'd be praising him to the hilt with the season he's coming at Liverpool and the work he's done and everything. He's still criticising and critiquing his own son on his managerial job, and that's amazing, I think. And that obviously clearly indicates where Arne Slot himself gets the kind of... it indicates where he gets his, his kind of enthusiasm and determination and will to win and all that kind of stuff that we see from him. That's quite interesting. But no, it's an interesting game. And obviously in the first game, we had a really poor first half. And Arne Slot got asked a little bit about that first game, and he did mention upon the first half. But he also went on to mention something which is quite a good point, really. He said he had 14 players just before the start of the season, and then he had another 14 players when we started. He was trying to allude to the fact he hadn't had a lot of time with the players, the ones that were coming back from international breaks and holidays and stuff late, and some of them hadn't even been across to the American tour. So that was kind of interesting, because it does make you think that he's a great coach, but he's not a miracle worker, And so yeah, we didn't particularly play well in that first half. Kwanzaa obviously gets hooked. We don't see him after that for ages, and was a little bit of a shame for him, really. But yeah, their form and of course their performances, we should be beating them at Anfield, of course we should. So let's not elude that, but let's also not just, the players still have to turn up, and they have to play with the right attitude, right commitment, all of those kinds of things. Otherwise, this is when you come unstuck. So, but I don't think we'll do that. I think from now to the end of the season, you're going to see really professional performances by the players. A few of them in the dressing room, of course, have been here before, and they won't allow anyone in there to slip. So I'm really expecting a good second half. I think we might see some of our best performances of the season in this second half, believe it or not. I really do, even though you might say, oh, players are going to start tiring, a lot of games still to play, different competitions. All of that's true, but I still feel that we are going to see some great performances. And I don't think we've seen the best of Arnie Slot's team by a long shot yet. So be warned, Premiership. So let's look at the game then. So it's Saturday, 3 o'clock. It's another 3 o'clocker. And for the diary, next week we play Bournemouth, and that's at 3 o'clock again. So three o'clockers in a row, which is really unusual for Liverpool. We very rarely get 3 in a row like that. In actual fact, on hindsight, that'd been a great TV game for the Bournemouth one, wouldn't it? Especially with the way their season's going. Of course, when these fixtures get done, I don't know, they prioritise all different kinds of games. There are still other big games and fixtures this week. I will be doing a watch-along, guys, so if you want to join me for the watch-along, please do. I know there's a lot of channels out there, much bigger than mine, that'll be doing watch-alongs, so join them by all means. But if you've got time to come and join me for a little bit, I really appreciate it, But I should be doing it whether it's me on my own or whether I've got a dozen people in there. I really don't care. It's this YouTube, I'm just enjoying doing it, really. And who wants to come along and be with me for the ride is more than welcome. So anyway, the game tomorrow. So I think it will be a different game, of course, where both teams are in different places to they were at the beginning of the season. I think we will be a lot more dominating in the game. We will still have to be careful of changes in transition, switchovers, that kind of thing, which I think, the more I'm starting to see things just lately, is the more I'm beginning to think how we just need a kind of destroyer 6, really, that would actually sort of kill some of these chances we're giving up away. Because those transitional breakaways that we're having against us quite a lot in a lot of different games, some of that it will be sniffed out by a Fabinho type of player, if you like. And I don't put Gravenberch in that bracket, by the way. He's been fantastic for us this season in the 6. But of course, he's a lot more than just being a destroying type player. He can tackle, he can get stuck in and all of those kinds of things, but it's not really his game, if you know what I mean. He's much more of a progressive player. Even now, we still know that. And that's why we have to still get a 6. But I just feel that's the thing. So we've got to be really careful on those kinds of things. The concentration has to remain really, really high, as we saw what happened in midweek in the Champions League game where we conceded a goal, really for just switching off. I mean, that's what it was. They'd gone down to 10 men, and we've just kind of almost gone, and just kind of, relaxed to that point, and then that goal came from that. And that's how easy it is to score at this level of football, and it will be no different tomorrow. We will need to be switched on. We don't need to give up any. We don't need to concede any ground. We just need to keep that ball. Let's try and be a bit more proactive with what we're doing with it in terms of. I wouldn't necessarily feel a game like midweeks is a game I would like to see in terms of. Was a bit boring. Do you know what I mean? We were just self-contained in ourselves, popping it around, and we had gears we could change into. Well, tomorrow I want us to change into those gears, and I want us to really go for it. I'm not saying we're going to get 6-0, but I do think we'll get 3-0 tomorrow. I don't think we'll concede, and I think we will win the match. And I think it'll be fairly comfortable in the end. We will have our moments in the game, though. So let's move on to the team, who I think will play tomorrow. So I think it's going to be fairly straightforward. Actually, I don't think there'll be tremendous changes tomorrow. The big question for me would be for left back. Does he continue with Tsimikas, or does he bring Robbo back in? And I'm going to take a little bit of what I heard from Arnie Slot when he said it's great to have 2 left backs of this quality that I can rotate. Now we all know we need a left back, by the way, but so that's interesting that he came out with that, because obviously Robbo's had a bit of a break now. But Tsimikas has played pretty well. I mean, I think he was one of, from a creative point of view, from his corners and everything like that, he's way better. So Personally, I would go with Tsimikas, but I think he'll go with Robinson. So I'm going to go with Alisson in goal. I'm going to go with Konate playing through the pain barrier. It was mentioned again in the press conference that he's been playing through some pain and everything like that, but I still think he will play. And I think it'll be next to Van Dijk, who's clocking up some serious minutes, by the way, guys. He really is, but fair play to the guy. He's just been absolutely magnificent. And I think it'll be Robbo, and I think it'll be Trent. And then I think in the midfield, it will be Gravenberch and McAllister. And then in the 10 role, I might go with Elliott without having, or do we go with Szoboszlai? I'm going to start with Szoboszlai, and then I'm going to, I think I might go with Szoboszlai to start the game with Harvey Elliott coming on. And I think that may be the way, especially if things are a bit tight, So I think this might be the way that things work with Arne Slot, as he starts to, what I think he's going to do, and what we started to see already, is going to be giving, like the other day, he gave Gravenberch 45 minutes, and then made changes. And I think that's what we're going to see, either players coming on or players coming on, players starting or coming on in second halves. And I think he's going to be rotating the squad quite a bit. He's going to probably be utilising them 5 subs pretty much to the maximum, I think. And that's how I think he's going to be doing things. So, and they'll be looking at minutes, looking at, who's in red zones or whatever you call it, and all that kind of stuff. And that's how I think he'll go around it. But, yeah, so I think that will be that. And then up front, I'm going to go with, I'm going to go with Diaz on the left, and I'm going to go with Darwin through the middle and Mo Salah. That's what I'm going to go with there. I just think Gakpo, I don't know. Do I go with that, or do I? Yeah, I'm going to stick with that. Might be wrong, but give me your starting lineups in the comments. I really appreciate that. Please, if you come across this video, I know it's going out to a very small audience at the moment because I've only got about 87, 88 subscribers. So it's pretty low subscriber count at the moment, but of course it's just a fairly new channel. It's only going a month. So from another point of view, but if you do come across it, please share it, and please do like it, and please subscribe to it, and help this channel to grow. I'm hoping to do so many things in the future. This is my club. I love Liverpool so much, and I know you guys do. And big up the Reds for tomorrow. We are going to be doing this. It's another 3 points in the bag. Right, speak to you soon.